So company Q has a formula for manufacturing its products, and the rate is given in this formula, which has three variables. N is that number of units that it produces, R is the month of the number month, and that appears twice in the formula, and then there's also a constant C. So if we need to find out how many units will be produced in the fourth month of the calendar year, that tells us that R equals 4. So now our new formula is going to be, I'll put it down here, N equals 1200 over 2 times 4 minus 3 to the negative fourth times that constant. We don't have to figure out what this is. We still have two variables anyway. We just know that we're going to need one more of these variables. We need to figure out this constant to figure out what this number is going to be in the fourth month. Statement 1 tells us that Q manufactured 100 units in the first month of the year. So this tells us that N equals 100. That's one variable. And we also know R from this, because R is going to equal 1. Plugging these two numbers into this equation, we would then be able to solve for that constant C. Once we had that constant C, we would plug that into our formula for the fourth month and figure out how many units come out in the fourth month. We don't want to do the math, we just know that we could because we would have a single variable and it would all come out of this fraction. So statement 1 is sufficient, and we can get rid of B, C, and E as potential answer choices. Statement 2 tells us that in no month were there more than 200 units manufactured. So if 1200 over 2r plus 3 to the negative r times c, if this is always less than or equal to 200, that means that this denominator here must be always less than or equal to, greater than or equal to 6. So 2r plus 3 to the minus r times c is greater than or equal to 6, because 1200 divided by 6 will be, or divided by a number less than or equal to, greater than or equal to 6 will give you a number less than or equal to 200. So we still have our two variables here, and in this inequality, so it's not going to be sufficient. There are a large number of values for R and C. Even when we can plug in values for R like 1, 2, 3, all the way to 12, there are a bunch of different values for that C, and we don't have any other information to narrow it down. So statement 2 is insufficient on its own. We cross off D. We already established statement 1 is sufficient, so we select A.